and I help entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs make marketing make sense. But today, I'm not talking about none of that. Today, I'm calling this Mind Numbing Monday. Mind Numbing Monday. And I got to start doing this order right because I really should I'm still getting the hang of things, but I really should put the title, the topic of what I'm talking about in here first before I go live. But I'm here. So I'm committed to be on a live more often. And so here I am. So today, okay, this is going to be really quick. This does not fall under the category education. This falls under the category chop it up. What do you think? And help me to kind of sort my thoughts out. Because, okay, first of all, confession. I have a somewhat of an affinity, or I don't know, some people might call it addiction, for YouTube shorts. Okay, YouTube shorts. And my current people on YouTube shorts that because to me as an entrepreneur, YouTube shorts are like a quick way to detach from what I'm working on so I can refocus. Like if I'm just like at a point where I'm just like, oh, I just can't look at this in one more second, then, YouTube shorts. So here's my lineup for YouTube shorts. Okay, Muhammad Ali, Jordan Peterson, this woman called a Pearly Thoughts. I don't know what her name is. And yes, I confess, Andrew Tate. Okay. So, and a couple other people, I can't remember exactly because apparently they're not making that much impression. But this is the thing. My question is, what happened to the men? What happened to the men? Because whether I'm listening to Andrew Tate and his machismo, or I'm listening to a Pearly Thoughts and her like conversation of how women love men who cheat, the one thing that is really consistent across the conversation is that something has happened to the men, right? So then I was like, okay, I'll bite. What has happened to the men? As I sit here in my dog hair covered shirt and I'm a little grubby. But anyway, so I remember, and here's what I think happened to the men. And I think it's what happens to everybody because from a spiritual perspective, we're kind of like, most people, I would say probably 95% of the planet, we kind of walk around in this kind of daze, right? And so what happens is every now and then, somebody, I don't know who wants to call it controlling forces. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. In fact, I've kind of lined up with some of those things because people got to have stuff to do. But anyway, I digress. So I said, what happened is somebody threw something out into the consciousness, bloop, and they said, there's not enough men for the women. There are more women than there are men. I don't know what the women are going to do. This is what I think happened. So when that went in, bloop, into collective consciousness and the women started thinking about it, it's like, oh, wow, there's more women than there are men. I'm either going to have to share or my chances of finding someone are really slim, right? So the women went, forget it. I'm just going to get my own stuff. So then the women started to become more masculine. They started to do more. They took responsibility for themselves. They accepted their fate, that there were more men than women. Who knows if that's true or not, but that there were more men than women. And they just kind of sucked it up and said, okay, you know what? It's a chance that I might not have men, but you know what? I'm going to have some money and I'm going to have my own stuff and I'm not going to take no SHIT from nobody, right? So in the process of that, women became more masculine. And because the women who were masculine, because they were more kind of desperate, and you tell me if you agree with this, in the comments, tell me what your thoughts are, because I'm just curious. I mean, this is crazy to me. So they became desperate for men because in this mentality of that kind of thing that was that thought bubble that dropped in there, they started allowing men to have more with less work. Okay, so if you have to think about it, the wars that have been fought, their men have gone through great lengths to position themselves in places of power and success and resources so that they can get to good woman, right? The man, that's the nature. They'll do, I don't want to say this, no offense, man, but they'll do just about anything for the right woman, right? So so they went from a position where they had to compete and to present themselves properly to the right woman to, well, okay, well, you know what? It's all right, baby. You don't have to do that. I'm just glad to have a man. And so the women started letting the men off the hook a little bit. And we are like, okay, well, that's okay. You don't have to meet this. You don't have to meet this. You don't have to do that. It's okay. And so there was like this influx of men. They don't really have to do nothing. Who's going to work when they don't have to? Who's going to work hard when they don't have to do it? Who's going to do that? I think most people are lazy. I will admit to being lazy. I'm going to do as much as I need to do and no more. But then I have high standards for myself, which means that the most I do is probably more than most other people do. But the point is, women began to let the women who were not the ones who were like, I'm just going to take charge and do my thing. Those other women, they were like, come on, baby, it's okay. And so the men are like, okay, cool, bet. I got to do whatever. And the women started climbing up and they became more powerful and they became more connected with their masculinity. And they lost touch, I think, with their femininity. And so now we're like flipped. Now we're talking about how men are weak. Now we're talking about how women say, oh, I can't find a good man because they don't meet this standard and that standard and this standard and that standard. And the reality is, in my opinion, this is my opinion, so chime in, put some comments in if you agree or disagree. But in my opinion, I feel like the women let the men off the hook, and the women that didn't let the men off the hook climbed the ladder and became very masculine themselves. And so that put us in a position where there are less, even though there may or may not, who knows if that was true or not, but even though there are men available, then, they're not necessarily the caliber that people want, or they are good men. This is the argument of a Pearly Thoughts on the YouTube short. So that's what I'm going to say. So a Pearly Thoughts, I can't remember the woman's name. I don't even think I knew the woman's name. She's kind of a millennial age woman, and she says that women want men who cheat, and they prefer men who cheat because I can't really connect with the why exactly, but in essence, is the men who cheat are that small percentage of the male population that have the money and the jobs and the career and the machismo and all that stuff. So because there's fewer of them, then they are more likely to cheat because they have so much variety. Any man, y'all know this is true. If you got money and power and you're attractive, even if you're not attractive, but if you got money and power, you have more than enough women, right? Like never knocking on your door like, hey, what's up? Woo, send your naked pictures and everything. I get it, right? And so she's saying, hey, women love men who cheat. And then you got Andrew Tate, who is my other, person I listen to all the time. He's like, dude, you just got to get the money and the power. That's it. That's what you got to do. Because he's that guy. He's the one in that small percentage who has the money and has the power and has all this. And he's cheating all the time. He's got it automated. I was listening to one short. He had it automated where he could send his little text like, how are you? How's your day? What's up? Hi. And the women was just eating it up. So anyway, I just find this a little bit mind-numbing. It's kind of fun for me to talk about it, but it's like, what do you think? What do you think? Have men, is it anyone's fault? Like my personal opinion on this is I don't think it's anyone's fault. I think, well, let me take that back. I think that it's everyone's fault because we're out of connection with who we are. If we connected with who we are as divine beings and we understood our power, then none of this could manipulate us, right? But because most people, I would say, 95% of the world, the human beings, don't really know who they are, then it's very easy for those who understand who we are to throw in a thought bubble. Boop, not enough men. Boop, not enough, the women are too masculine. Boop, you've been discriminated against. There's enough of that where they can just boop, throw a little thought bubble in, and then you go jumping after it like, like a hungry puppy, like blah, 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 blah. Right? So I think it's everyone's fault, and then it's no one's fault in the sense that it is a system that is designed to manipulate people's thinking. And so I think that a thought bubble came in, said women, it's not enough men, and then we all reacted. We reacted to it, and that's what's happening. So now we're flipped. So my question is, that's my opinion, and I think it's kind of a fun topic. So go ahead and chime in and let me know what you think. Have men gotten weak? Are women like too strong? Have women, and the other interesting thought is, have women lost touch with their femininity? Like, has that the drive to climb the ladder and to be successful and to have all the all the dressings of success that men have, has that shrouded the femininity of women such that they're not even capable of supporting a man anymore in the ways that he needs to be supported? What do you think about that? Okay, I'm in a silly mode, but I'm out here. I said I was going to come out and do some nice. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. I'm not really sharing anything except my random thoughts about this topic because I find it so interesting. But so I'm going to jump off. I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to leave the question to you. What do you think? What happened to the men? What happened to the women? And how do we turn it around? Okay, this is Crystal Cotton and I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.